Hello, my name is Jason Francis, and I am doing the author discussion recorded version for Amiri Baraka. To begin, Amiri Baraka was a world-renowned political activist, writer, teacher, and critic. Born in 1934, Baraka made a name for himself at an early age by becoming a self-proclaimed avant-garde member, an officer in the United States Air Force, and by spending time studying at the collegiate level at various universities all across the country. Amiri Baraka was born in Newark, New Jersey on October 7, 1934. Born with the name Everett Leroy Jones, Baraka used both his names in various essays and poems throughout his life. He attended high school in Newark at the Barringer High School and studied hard enough to inevitably obtain a scholarship to Rutgers University in New Brunswick, New Jersey. As time passed, Baraka transferred over to Howard University and began studying philosophy and religion. This planted his feet in the ground to start thinking for himself and forming opinions on issues regarding the real world and implementing them into his writings. In addition, he also obtained an education at Columbia University in the New School for Research. However, he never ended up receiving a degree there. In 1954, Baraka became a gunner in the United States Air Force and quickly moved up the ranks to become a sergeant. Stationed in Puerto Rico, he worked at the base library, where he quickly obtained his passion of literature and music due to the easy access of both. However, after a short time serving, Baraka was discharged because of his apparent communist ideologies. After he explained how he found his experience with the military to be racist and completely unenjoyable. Following his discharge, he hit a turning point in his life and career as he began the fight against racism and started speaking out for the African American community. Soon after, he knew his passion was to create works of writing and become an author. Starting his work for the music records, he quickly met people in the business through various groups, including the New York School Poets, Black Mountain Poets, as well as the Beat Generation. His initial connections helped him get his writing career off the ground, and within a few months he produced some of his most famous works, including The Essence of Reparations and Somebody Blew Up America. In addition, his connections led to his eventual interest in music, specifically jazz. His interest and appeal to jazz music led him to become a music critic who was highly acclaimed because of his involvement with leaders such as Malcolm X and Thelonious Monk. One of his most famous music critiques was a work entitled Black Music. Eventually, because of all the praise and appreciation he was receiving, he gained the title of founder of the Black Arts Movement of the 60s. His famous play, Dutchman and Blues People, also got him involved with African American music. Starting in the 60s as a leader of the Black Power movement, Baraka changed his views over time, and by the 1970s became an important leader of the Black nationalist movement. However, after all of these view changes, he still continued to believe his Marxist views of communism, which were what led him to be removed from the military in the first place. Baraka was successful and influential in his works because of his unique ability to combine his political views and ideologies into his work no matter what people thought. One thing that Baraka said that stood out to me was, "The real hallmark of an effective political artist is that the politics is accepted with the art and is made influential because of the strength of the art." This quote completely unveils the way Baraka thought about his writing and how his views intertwined. Due to Amiri Baraka's constant political view changes, he was part of the avant-garde. In addition, he was part of movements such as the Black Nationalist Movement, the Third World Liberation Movement, and wrote under his birth name of Leroy Jones while working with underground artists. Throughout his lifespan, he received awards including the PEN Open Book Award, James Weldon Johnson Medal, Poet Laureate of New Jersey, and the American Academy of Arts and Letters Award for all of his essays and poems. As Baraka's stance grew more and more clear, he was considered by most to be radical. This term as a whole meant that Amiri's art and literature completely revolved around ideas of race and racism, and provided his distinct views of the topics. Having read the novel The Intuitionist, I noticed some similarities in Baraka's life and the book. One factor that stood out to me the most was how the novel refers to racism from how people look on the outside surface and the fact that African Americans simply have a different skin color. The idea behind showcasing race based on surface appearance is exactly what Baraka fought against in both the nationalist and Black Power movements, all to attempt to stop and end racism in the country. Amiri Baraka passed away on January 9, 2014. Baraka left a legacy that will live on for many years to come as he bravely fought for his people's rights through the use of literature and art. Having touched so many African American art and music communities, Amiri was one to always stand up for what he believed in and never failed to surprise his followers with his views and ideologies. Through the use of others bringing him up to fame, he utilized those allies in order to touch and change the lives of millions through his motivation and action. My sources come from the Poetry Foundation, biography.com, and thefamouspeople.com. Thank you.